So what have we come to? It's our glimpse of what this place was like back when it was functioning and had people. The new girl. So it showed me get taken over by the hiss. They reference Shawshank Redemption again. In Shawshank, they tear down the poster, and there's actually a hole, and you escape, and you can escape prison through that poster, which has resonance with the previous idea about how she supposedly, well, or at least the psychiatrist was asking if she did have fantasies about escaping into another world through paintings and stuff like that. That parallels the idea of Shawshank Redemption with escaping through the tunnel dug behind the poster. But here, her hope is gone. She said, you tear down the poster and there's nothing there, just a wall and a cell. We got to Polaris, and that's it. It collapsed. It was destroyed. We have a document, a letter, and coffee. Oh. I'm a secretary, basically. Or a janitor. No, secretary. An office assistant. I've done variations of this before. Variations of office assistant or teacher's assistant. Making coffee for the department, stuff like that. Grading papers. Wow, this is gonna take a while. Still just about rather do this instead of the combat. I can eavesdrop. What? The fucking objectives just come back. These are fake objectives. Okay, let's try to eavesdrop. These are infinite objectives, and even if you complete them, not only are there infinite resources, but if you complete the meter, it just refills. Someone's talking though. Deliver mail to his office. That's way more important than the other objectives. Wow. I'm glad everyone's having a thrilling day at work. Oh, I don't have an HRC. Everyone else does.
I will get it done right away.
So if the hiss outbreak happens, I die. In this hypothetical. I mean, I'm already infected. That's why the only color they're letting me have is red. My very skin has become black and white as far as I can tell, and everything in the environment has, except for the red.
Please give me a chance. I can do better.
He's not having a good time. You can see the red locked doors, red carpet.
No, not today.
There you are.
A research project he has to oversee. Yes, top secret stuff.
Everyone's having a great time.
Strictly classified.
Yeah, this is the one unlocked door, and as you can see, it's gray. That's all we have. Delivered the mail to the office. Director's office is up there. Oh, way the hell out there. Now this new office girl, and she is just the worst. Like, OMG. Here we go.
Are you sure you are not lost? Maybe you can find yourself in the director's office.
He probably knows what's happening. Yeah, we're back to Yeah, we're back to him being on all the portraits, not me. Trench.
Oh, great. I was just waiting for my mail. Please, take the outgoing mail as well. Thank you.
What is happening? I don't like this. No, this isn't me. I'm not me. I can't. Why can't I feel you? Oh, I've forgotten something. I can't think. Oh, I'm lost. Oh, where are you? I can't feel anything. I don't want to be alone here. Where am I? What is this? I want it end. Wake up, please. I want to go home.
What the fuck? Ah, that's terrifying.
You're dismissed.
One of the creepy patients that were floating around,
I've got nothing.
telekinetically throwing things at me. In their weird alternate dimension. They were like in the creepy, like waterboard torture chamber looking areas. Where they read your memories.
I've got nothing more for you.
As you go into alternate dimensions with your mind or something.
Fine. Get out of here.
Don't let it go to your head.
I figured I'd complete each objective once, why not?
Why do they keep you around?
And it comes right back.
Oh, have you seen him? Mr. Faden, the new director? Oh, yeah.
Were you here before?
It's shocking.
It's her.
I knew, I suppose, but no one wanted to say it out loud. But now it's out in the open. As painful as it is, it's a relief to admit it, like a weight has been lifted. It's gone on too long. The director is crazy. Insane.
Okay.
Directors grow more and more out of hand. He's dangerous.
That's Underhill and Pope.
Doing something about it.
The voices don't come from them, but they're both here. Like that's where they both are. She's also weirdly in this costume, even though she's not doing that. Hello. How do I get in there? Sir, this is the female restroom. Oh Jesus, you're doing a... You know what? You do you. You probably couldn't make it to the other one. It's fine. Not exactly fucking busy. Can I melee? Then my buttons work. Why can't I talk to Dylan? I can see him right here. Why isn't she even reacting to him? Oh shit. Okay. Things have definitely changed since the first time through. Have warped.
Oh, have you seen him? Mr. Faden? Oh, yeah. Very smart as well. Oh, it'd be great to have something to charge you.
Time is money.
Time is not money. What are you talking about? Time is money. That's a stupid thing to say. You think this fucking place exists within capitalism? No one's making money off of what's happening in here as far as I can tell. No.
Doesn't she know how dangerous the
We are a government-funded enterprise, sir.
tear her apart?
Time is money.
She's going to the old director. They must be working together. She must.
I would have definitely laughed if someone ever said that when I was working at the water board. It's like, yeah,
Should keep trying.
that's totally what this place is. A time is money kind of place.
I need to go inside. I need to keep moving.
I have a plan.
I won't let them win. That's how it happened. The hiss got Trench first. He turned on the projector. He let them in. I have to remember. The hiss. The hiss is the enemy. This is all inside my head. The hiss burrowing in. I'm trapped in here.
We're getting a little.
Taking over.
It's getting a little PT now. Hello. Oh, they're floating. Guys, there's floaty people around. So I thought I was thinking that maybe, just maybe, Trent shot himself on purpose because he knew I was coming, and that he'd pass director off to me because I was the only one that could save them from the hiss. Maybe.
Fuck this shit.
Because they did plan that either myself or my brother become his inheritor. But now it seems like maybe the hiss, which was controlling my brother, went on to control Trench. Or at least they seem to be, well, it seems like it controlled Trench first. Then other people. That coffee mug just became something else for a second there. Oh. Yep, stuff's freaking out. So it seems to me like... Whoa. Stuff's being replaced by other stuff. I think what they're doing is they're just using my brother to represent the hiss. As the representation of the hiss during cutscenes, basically. And so... Trench, when he was in that... when he was in Slidescape 36, which I haven't gotten to see yet, huh? He got to experience... Whoa, that guy just appeared. He experienced something different from everyone else. The instruments measured one thing,
I need to get to
and that seemed to be what Darling experienced and anyone else that was here. Anyone else that was there. But instead, Trench experienced something else. It made his ears bleed.
This is nonsense.
And that's probably what made him release what made him release the hiss and do all this. That's creepy. So then the hiss probably used Trench to release itself, and then maybe had him kill himself. Although I don't know why he would if he controlled everything. He always seemed to control everything.
We'll find a way to push them out.
If the hiss controls everyone, why would it have one of their subjects kill themselves? Unless he was not completely being controlled. If he was like me, he might have been resistant. Or maybe his resistance is what led to him killing himself. Maybe he killed himself. Well, that's two of them. Maybe he was breaking free and he killed himself to escape the hiss. Or his own behavior.
Welcome back. I knew I chose a good assistant.
I need my gun.
You are a worm through time. The thunder soul distorts you.
I know what I must do. Start at the beginning. I should have seen it earlier. This is my mess to clean up. My fight. No one else's. I am the director.
Hello, this is Dr. Casper Darling. I have a classified message for the director of the Federal Bureau of Control. I have sad news. Hedron is gone now, but it was not a source. It was a catalyst. Do you understand? You must go to my office, the Endgame. It will be revealed.
Nosebleed. Weird bleeding is always worrying, because a weird bit of bleeding is what led to the hiss possession.
You're inside by the door. Push your finger
What? Oh shit, are they all me? The portraits haven't changed. But all the hiss are me.
I can't feel you. I can't. This is what Dylan wanted all along. But there's something. I can feel it, but I don't know what. The motel is a place of power, of change, a place to pass through, connecting everything. This is a dream inside my head. Why shouldn't it take me anywhere I want to go?
Is he about to sing?
Nobody knew her name, but she turned up just the same. There was a knock on the door, a thump on the floor, and the party turned insane as she called out her name.
Jesse is dynamite. I was not ready for this. Alright. Oh, that was the whole thing. Dr. Casper Darling.
This is so weird.
Yes, that's accurate. Oh, that's me. Oh.
Grow brighter. Around one constant, they revolve. Hedron is dead, but you're alive here in me. Maybe Hedron put you in our heads when we met her. Maybe you were always there, and she was just trying to teach me how to trigger you. Maybe I'll never understand. Maybe I don't need to. Trench was the first to be corrupted by the hiss. Slowly, over the years. His need for control only made it worse. It was Trench who took the projector to the nostalgia department. He opened the door to the hiss. Just like that. With Hedron dead, the hiss tried to corrupt me too. But I'm stronger than them. We're stronger. They're waiting. They'll try to stop us.
I love these parts of the game so much. Oh my god.
My sister had this dream. A bad dream. The whole world was
Dylan?
She convinced herself that she was awake. She's always been stubborn. I knew I had to end her dream. I had to wake her up. I had to rip down the poster she'd been staring at. Cut off her eyelids to make her see. To save her.
Okay. Did I do it wrong? I don't know what's happening. What hurts you? Well, let's replay it again. So he references the poster too. Oh, it's gonna repeat the dialogue too.
Bad dream. And the whole world is dreaming with her.
Dylan?
She convinced herself that she was awake. She's always been stubborn. I knew I had to end her dream. I had to wake her up. I had to rip down the poster she'd been staring at. Cut off her eyelids to make her see. To save her.
You are worth your time. The thunder song distorts you. Happiness comes, white curls, but yellow and red in the eye.
I know he's still there somewhere. Locked inside. I know, because that's how it was for me.
Prepare for power boost, director. Wow, the redness is getting out of control. What the fuck? They're level 30? Oh, but I'm bullshit now too. Gotcha. Well, this is going well. So is the board? So I guess the board is ultimately on my side. At least now. I was kind of waiting for anything to betray me in this game, including the board. But they seem to give me a power boost while I'm facing this. Although I guess they rely on me to defeat the hiss regardless. Am I supposed to be trying to reach Dylan or just fighting? So the objective says reach Dylan, but I don't know if that's possible. Well, he's still a damage sponge. There we go. The final percussion. When combat ends. Well, this is going well. Don't fall. Don't fall. You know, I could almost make it. It still looks like it. Oh, wow, they got taller. There's still that thing where I look at all that mist of the hiss, and it totally looks like video corruption. Oh, fuck, that almost killed me. power boost my ass. Jesus Christ. Fuck. That thing was a problem. We are still fighting, okay? I'm like, I don't see anything. I don't see a platform to go to or an enemy to fight. Wasn't sure what to make of that. Who we fighting? Can we wrap this up? Like, you're burning me out here. Like, we got the cool, like, look at the crazy red stuff. Wow, this place is crazy. Wow. And you're just totally killing the narrative momentum of the scene by having me just fight stuff for 15 minutes straight with nothing new. Like, I get it. I fought these guys for hours and hours now. I get it. I'm ready to see this where the story is going. More stuff like weird office nightmare and less stuff like this. I can barely even see my enemies, frankly. So they're basically not allowed to make this hard, because it would be so frustrating if this got hard. Because the whole screen's just black and red. Which means we're in filler time, where we do filler combat. And it's still not a boss fight, even though they made boss fights. But none of them are here, apparently. Ow, shit. Do not kill me, I swear to God. I do not want to start this over. It's so long. Oop, almost went off the ledge. Where's my projectile? I just lost it. It just didn't come to me. Gotcha. There we go. Music's died down. That means there's gonna be somewhere to go. That was almost bad. Dylan!
You are home. You are wonderful home. You've taken your boss. Your boss. You.
Dylan's in a coma. I don't know if there's anything of him left in there. If he'll ever find his way back. The portal's been closed, but the hiss is still in the oldest house. And the lockdown can't be lifted as long as any trace of it remains. I'm working on a solution with my management team, but there is still a long road ahead. I'm the director of the Federal Bureau of Control. We're in this together. You and I.
Huh. Abrupt? Like, very abrupt. Just smash cut to epilogue footage and wrap up the entire... It just wraps up the entire narrative in like 20 seconds. Bummer. They were panning it out with that much combat because that was all they had in the ending. There wasn't anything left. Huh. Why does this game have two weird, cool boss fight designs and neither of them are in the main story? The main story basically doesn't have real boss fights. It's just elite enemies. An enemy that has a bigger health bar and hits harder. That's so weird. Like, could you imagine if that giant crazy thing I fought from the fridge, if that was the final boss fight? It would have been something compared to what, just fighting the same enemies. Like, the game ran out of new enemies to show me like 10 hours ago, it feels like, and so I just kept shooting the same enemies hundreds and hundreds of times, which if you're new around here, is definitely a complaint of mine. That's what comes up when I talk about like Mass Effect Andromeda and games like that, is just like, oh wow, this game just ran out of new enemies to show me, didn't it? That's a bummer. But it weirdly they went through the effort of making boss fights. One of them's rather thematically oriented around a specific thing. The plant monster probably has to be tied to the mold and probably can't be recontextualized into a different thing. But why wouldn't you make the cool blob spider thing that I fought? Whatever that, I forget what it's called. Why wouldn't, like, that could have been the hiss. Like, maybe I have to fight that thing in order to cleanse Dylan and close the portal. Instead, they were just like, I don't know. It's all those tutorial areas for all your new abilities, but it's red now. And you gotta fight all the enemies you've been fighting the entire game, but they're red now. And it's like, that's not exciting. I mean, it is for a minute. For about a minute, you're like, ooh, this looks cool. And then a minute later, you're like, okay. Yep, we're still doing this. Still just shooting guys. Huh. I don't know. I guess the whole thing could have been elevated if the combat design was more interesting and more compelling. And so I guess when they planned that many combat encounters into the overall gameplay, they were planning it under the assumption that the gameplay was going to carry those parts of the game. But I don't think it does. And I mean, you're welcome to think that whatever you want about this game, but in my opinion, the combat just does not carry. So whenever the game relies heavily on combat, you're like, where actually the less mechanically demanding parts of the game were more interesting to me when I'm playing like red light, green light, or I'm hovering through these bizarre nightmare places, or I'm navigating the insanity that is like the Ash maze and stuff like that. The ashtray maze. I don't know. Meeting a new character, finding out about the organization as a whole, weird quirky shit like how the janitor goes on vacation, so I have to go to another space in order to get the headphones from him. Like, things like that are like, yeah, this is interesting. And it's all the stuff where it's like, and now you fight 100 enemies is always like, that's all you guys had, huh? And I felt exactly like this about Alan Wake. I don't remember Alan Wake that well because I played it when it first came out a while ago. It's not, I don't have videos of it. That was before this because that game's wild. That game's old now, but older than my channel, which is itself old at this point. But like weird shit, like the narrative that was happening, the exploration itself, the general tone was interesting, and like weird shit, like inanimate objects flying at me and attacking me, and like those hints of horror were all interesting. But the combat was so boring, and I thought it was that like that back then. You just, first of all, it was I felt like the game was failing as a horror game because all these spooky dudes they're always just humans, by the way, and it was just another third-person shooter. All these humans come at you in the darkness, and every time they spawned, the camera would carefully pan over to them to show you that they were there and attacking you now. So they all had like a wrestler intro, essentially announcing their presence, so they could never startle and surprise you, which at the time I thought that was weird because I thought it was supposed to be a horror game. It'd be weird if, like, when you play the Resident Evil 1, the first zombie you encounter gets a cutscene being like, oh my god, a zombie! But like, they don't do that every time every single zombie shows up for the entire— I said zombie and then zombies showed up on the screen called little red zombies. But like, in Resident Evil, they don't have a fucking, like, cutscene every single time you ever see a zombie, because they want the zombies to surprise you and be like, oh shit, a zombie! And a cutscene really undercuts that. The first cutscene can establish the grotesqueness of the creature, so you can be like, oh my god, this is a problem. But then after that, you just want it to have it appear and be like, oh no, a problem for me to deal with. But in Alan Wake, every single enemy that ever showed up throughout the entire game, even all the generic goons you fought over and over again, the camera would pan over them like it's like they're introducing a wrestler, and it really undercut any tension or surprise. And then all you did was dispatch them all the same way via your third-person shooter mechanics, with the minor twist being that you are shining a flashlight on people. But it's like, okay, I don't know. So I played this game and I played that game. I have not played Quantum Break, but it doesn't seem like they're just that great at combat design. It's just not their thing, and that's a bummer, because these characters and world designs and visuals all are neat, and I want more of that stuff, but I don't like playing the game that is between me and that, so that's kind of a bummer. I don't know. Overall, I'm happy I played the game, though. It was interesting. Memorable little weird thing. But yeah, at this point, it's been like a decade. I hope they can figure out a better formula. Kind of feels like they're doing third-person shooters because third-person shooters are the thing that everyone does for their cinematic games these days. And they kind of led the charge for it back then. It was pretty much like Alan Wake and... It was like Alan Wake, Gears of War, and Uncharted were kind of the ones that were kind of firing this off, and now it became way more of a thing over time. But they just don't make particularly compelling shooters. And I've played some shooters that I find really compelling, and so far they've dropped the ball every time for me. And that's a bummer. Hey, all the credits are in black and white. So even Bink Video's in black and white there. Because everything's black and white except for the red. But I don't think there's any red to show here. Huh. Everyone in this game is fictional. BT dubs. Hello. You are the director of the Federal Bureau of Control. The crisis is not over. Your work is not done.